Hi creatives! If you work as a designer, at some point someone will probably ask you to do some work for free. It might make you want to just crawl in under the bed sheets and mutter angrily about how exposure doesn't pay the bills. But I actually think there are a couple different scenarios where doing paid work or pro bono work is a really smart strategic choice. To help us weed out the opportunists from the real opportunities, I'm going to share a little bit about when I think it's a good idea to work for free and what to think about to make sure that it works out in your favor. Step 1. Understand the benefits to you. My criteria when I try to decide yes or no on a pro bono project is, does it either A, fit into a cause or something that I really believe in and that I would support anyway with my time or my money, or does it B, fit into a category like an industry that I really want to break into and it's something that's really valuable to add to my portfolio. We all know that you tend to get projects that are similar to the work that you showcase on your portfolio. So let's say you want to break into website design but you haven't really worked on that many websites before. You can either do a personal project where you work on a project that you come up with from scratch, or you can do a pro bono project to work with a real client on something where you might have a little bit less freedom, but you're actually able to iron out some of the details of running a typical project with a client. And this is quite valuable because it often exposes a lot of the steps in our process that we might not have thought about before. So it can be really good practice for when we start working with paying clients. There's one more type of free work that I think could be a really good idea, and that is collaborations with other business owners. And this is something where, let's say you're really good at design and someone else is really good at marketing, and you help each other out. Now this can be a work swap where sometimes you have to look into if there's anything you have to do for your accounting side, or it could be like a collaboration. Let's say you both have a social media account and you collaborate on a lead magnet together or something like that where the work is free, you're not getting paid for it, but it can really forward your business and it might be something you can't actually afford to offer or to do otherwise. Step 2. Can I afford it? I think you should really think hard about not taking on work that is free if you can't cover your bills to start with. So if you're either in a situation where your business is making enough money for you to cover everything and you have time left over, or if let's say you have another job on the side and you see this as a real opportunity to take your business forward, then it can be a good time to take on that free project. But make sure you're covering your business first and that everything is going to run smoothly while you're doing this with your other time. Step 3 is to set clear boundaries. I've noticed that for some reason, when we do work that is out of the typical scope, like if we're doing free work or if we're doing a passion project, we tend to stop doing all the really good things that we do for a typical project, like set really clear deadlines or have a very clear structure or a project scope or a contract. I think that the danger in doing that is you could end up with a pro bono project that goes on forever. You don't have anything to hold up against it to say, well, you need to pay more if we're getting to this point, unless you've set up some really clear rules and strategies to begin with. This also helps make that collaboration relationship with that client much better, and they might hire you in the future for something when they can afford it, or they might recommend you to someone who could pay you. So make sure that you treat free work or pro bono work with the same detail and attention that you would to any other projects. Step 4 is, unless you're a really big company, always avoid spec work. So spec work stands for speculative work, and it's basically when you're creating a design and presenting it in the hopes of getting hired for a project. So you're doing all the work for free until you hopefully get chosen. And this can be anything as small as participating in a design competition or, on these different job sites where lots of designers contribute, let's say a logo, and then the client chooses the one that they like the best and only that person gets paid. Or it can even be big tenders for projects like branding for a big festival or a government project, for example. So why should you avoid this? So to start with the smaller projects, these job boards, they often have a lot of competition, lots of designers who are trying to contribute something. The clients create very vague briefs that are what they think would be a good idea, but you have very little control over the creative process and very little insight into the business. So it's really difficult to create a good solution. Plus, in order for you to earn a good salary from it, you would have to create so many different contributions to different projects just to win a few of them that it becomes really time intensive and just not very sustainable in the long run. For big tenders, it tends to take a lot of time, it gets really drawn out over a long period of time, and you have to present really ambitious concepts. And if you don't have a big team, if you don't have a lot of profit in your business that can help you take on the size of projects, it can be really, really difficult for you to actually take care of all of that time and work and energy that goes into that tender that might not pan out. So I would say that think really carefully about that type of spec work. My takeaway is that free work doesn't have to be a bad thing as long as it's on your terms and it's something you feel really passionate about. Make sure that you keep that structure in and that you pick your projects carefully. I really hope you thought this was helpful. If you enjoy this type of video, you might really enjoy my video on how to be a more ethical designer. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your projects, and I'll see you next time.